Today is countdown day 9 until I go to Vegas. And today I'm feeling better than I have in the last couple of months. In January, I woke up with I'll refer to my penis as PP going forward today. I woke up with this big, bad pain about the end of January, like in my PP. Felt like someone was squeezing it, and I was like, what's going on? It was painful. So I got up, went to the restroom. I said, okay, maybe if I go to the restroom and stuff, everything will feel better. So I was using the bathroom. Right after it was even worse. It was like, oh my God, like it was like something was even worse. It was squeezing. And what made things worse, I had paid like $2,000, $2,765 about for a first class ticket for a business conference I was going to in Miami. And I was thinking, you've got to be kidding me. I cannot be getting sick a week before I'm going to fly off, get my first time flying first class on a plane to go to a business meeting. And I just like, okay, this is going to go away. So now I went and got all these weird products. I think it was some product maybe you're supposed to put to relieve urination or something. Of course it didn't work, and I ended up in urgent care. So I'm sitting there like just dying. Like, I don't know. I go to the restroom, doctor, and it feels like it just pinches, and I don't know what's going on. And I was there for about 2 hours taking tests, x-rays, and I went home, felt a little better, but then a day later, because like I feel a little better, what it was like I would just keep going to the restroom all the time. I couldn't hold it for like more than 20 minutes, and I was in the bathroom. And then after I went to the restroom, there was always like this sharp contraction afterwards. So I was trying to figure out how to time it where I wouldn't like just be so much pain. So I ended up in the urgent care office again, like saying, I don't know what's going on. This is not helping me. And the doctor gave me some type of constipation medicine. I'm like, it's my dick, man. It's not my ass, it's my dick. And I didn't, so then I just went back home again. I was like, it's just in pain. I'll just lay down. I mean, I was drive for work sometime. I had to just get out. I was like going to the restroom, like looking for all these places to find a restroom. And if you've ever been in San Bernardino, in this type of area, you know, this is what happens when you don't have no money. Like the parks bathrooms are closed. The bathrooms at the different stores, the gas stations you go to have codes. It just fucking sucks, man. That's why I'm moving to like a Orange County or somewhere where there's money. When there's no money, they just treat you like shit. But let me not digress. So I was like, I was starting to feel better just before my business trip, and the doctor, I went like 2 days before I was about to fly out, went to the doctor's office again. It's about my third time in the doctor's office saying, it's just not feeling better. You know, I go to the restroom every 30 minutes, and then after I go to the restroom, it's like I have this sharp contraction. So what can I do? So then I felt better. The day after I went to the doctor, I was feeling better. And then I was going to the day I was heading out to the airport. It was raining and it was cold, and I'm walking from my car to the terminal, and it's just hurting. I feel like I just got kicked in the nuts, man. So I'm like on my plane, I'm like barely not trying to move. Because if I move anyway, if it feels like a sensitivity, then I go to the restroom, come back, relax, contraction again. And then I'm like at my business conference, I started to feel a little better, but like I cannot move. I was just like this. Raise your hand. Has any of you had raise your hand like, Tom, is that you? I see here right there. Have you had an infection? Well, have you guys had an infection like in a certain area where it just hurts? Well, that's where I was. So raise your hand if like you've had to go to the doctor multiple times to try to get an infection solved. So that's how I was. I mean, I was just sitting there in my seats. I had used the last of my medicine, and I couldn't do anything. I was in Miami and at Marlins Stadium for a conference. Other people were going out to Daytona Beach and partying. I just barely sat at the, one night I drank. I sat at the little bar downstairs, had a couple of drinks. And I was just miserable, man. I just because I didn't want to go to the restroom, so I had to minimize how much I was drinking, because if I go to the restroom, I urinate, then it contracts. It's like, oh. So then cut to March, feeling a little bit better, because then I finally went to my doctor and like say, I'm starting to feel a little better, and I don't know, what do you recommend? And this is my first time ever like having like a pain in that area. Maybe when I was in college, when I was sleeping around and doing crazy shit. That's the last time my little pee-pee had a problem. But this time, like, I hadn't had sex for like a year, and my dick is like hurting. I'm like, shit, man, what is going on? So I started to feel a little better, and like gradually, like at first, I don't know if you guys ever gone through this, but you know how it is to just be sick in that area. It's just miserable, man. You don't know what to do. You don't want to. Someone wants to go have fun. Like right after you have sex, you gotta run to the restroom, and you run to the restroom, bam, your dick is hurting. So like, it just made like a miserable like March. And then in April, I started to feel a little better. Where like, okay, instead of going to the restroom every 20 minutes, I was able to go every 30 minutes. And then afterwards, it'd be like a pain would be a little sharp, but not as sharp. And I think I maybe went to the doctor one more time. I mean, I was just like constantly going to urgent care saying, give me something. But so somehow I had got some type of infection. And I think I'll tell you, I think I know how I got it. And it was something that was happening over a couple of years. So then I went, just like April, get a little better where I can go like at least 30 minutes. And then we hit to like May, like I was feeling better, but like sometimes like one thing I was never able to do is like I was going to the restroom every hour and a half when I sleep. So if I try to sleep 8 hours, you do the math. I don't know if you've gone through that type of experience. So then finally, like last month in July, I started was able to sleep, where I was able to sleep at least an hour and a half before going to the restroom. So like for the past like 8 months, standing from January to about almost like July, I mean, I cannot go more than an hour and a half without going to the restroom at home. And now when it came to July, like I was finally able to sleep like 3 or 4 hours, then go to the restroom, or go at least 2 hours without having to go to the restroom. And then after I would go to the restroom, it wouldn't be as painful. Like I could relax and like, okay, I could get back. It wouldn't be like as sharp. So then finally, like toward the end of August, like I was able to sleep 3 hours, not go to the restroom. Then maybe then it became 4 hours and not go to the restroom. So now I'm kind of like back on something I haven't been on for years, because for the past 3 years I was not able to go like more than an hour. I have to go at least to the restroom an hour, between an hour and a half when I was sleeping. Now I'm up to like 3 to 4 hours where I can sleep at night, comfortably get up, go to the restroom, and not feel that sharp pain. And then finally this week, these past week basically, I've been able to sleep 4 to 5 hours, not have to go to the restroom. Then when I go to the restroom, the pain is not as sharp. So I want you guys to I want you to let you, it shows you like when you're sick, man, there's not much you can do. You just have to it just takes time. And so if you guys ever get to, let me know if you guys have had an infection in that bad area and had to overcome it. So it's just like, for me, like I've been sleeping a lot. So now I'm lazy, because like now I'm not longer in pain, because like I've been living in pain for the past like 8 months. I'm just used to pissing and being in pain. So I'm trying to like adjust my life, not trying to stop at every restroom, trying to change my diet. And it's finally like, if I would have felt like this on my business trip, I would have partied up. But now I'm gearing up for Vegas. I'm sleeping well. I think the infection's finally gone. And just want you guys, if you ever get sick, just work through it, and it will get better for you in time.